Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and to be glad in it. Make a joyful noise in the Lord, all ye lands. I'm so glad to be here on this morning. Let me try it again. I'm so glad to be here on this morning. We're so thankful this morning that God has given us one more opportunity to get it right. God has given us another chance to lift up holy hands and give him all the praise and honor he deserves. And it's good to be wherever you are right now on today. Listen, we're not in our regular church building having our regular church service, but we still going to have some church. Amen. This is the day that has been set aside, that folks have set aside to honor mothers. This is Mother's Day. Amen. This is the day that they set aside to say amen or thank you, or I appreciate you to the mothers. But I'm just of the mind that if you have your mother, that you ought to not wait until the second Sunday in May to say amen to your mother. You ought to show her some kind of appreciation throughout the whole year. The Bible says, honor thy father and thy mother. I wish I had a Bible reader in here with me right now. We ought to lift them up. Mothers are very special, amen. So let me get it out of the way and say to my mother, Happy Mother's Day, and to my second mother, my godmother, all the way down in Decatur, Georgia, Mother Gladys Barkley, amen. I want to say Happy Mother's Day to her and Happy Mother's Day to all of Green Grove mothers, amen. To all the mothers that are under the sound of my voice that can hear me right now, Happy Mother's Day to you, amen. Now, if you can't make it to the restaurant, because you can't go sit and dine in, have those children fix you up something. Amen. Well, not all the children, the ones that can cook, have them fix you up something. Amen. Wish I had a witness in here. Amen. But we're so glad to be here today. We're not going to try to hold you too long, but there is a word from the Lord as we go forward. I do want to remember those that are on our prayer list. We're remembering Mother McAdoo and Mother Mitchell. We're remembering Brother McDowell. We're remembering Sister Samara Mullins and Dr. Luther Puckett, our pastor emeritus. We remember Mother Atkins, who's on our prayer list. We're remembering Brother Jimmy Barnes, who still needs our prayers. Sister Anisha Davis needs our prayers. The family for Reverend Darrell Murphy needs our prayers. Mother Watts needs our prayers. We're praying for her. Brother Sister Joanne Young, who's in the hospital, she needs our prayers. We're praying for her. Still praying for Sister Cynthia Sparks. Still praying for the Robinsons, Mother Robinson, Sister Lisa Robinson. They're on our prayer list. Amen. We're praying for all of our sick and shut-in. We're even praying for our friends that are asking for prayers. We got Sister Catrice Harper, who's asking prayer for her mother. Sister Beverly Hall, who's asking prayer for her mother, Miss Grace Dillon. We're asking prayers for the family members of Sister Tanya Washington, some of our friends that reached out to us. Listen, we're asking that everybody who know how to pray, know a word of prayer, and know that you can get a prayer through. We're going to stand in the gap on their behalf today, and we're going to continue to pray for these families. Amen. Now, I want to start off also by saying thank you once again to Green Grove for you being the beautiful church that you are and doing what God has called you to do. I thank God for everybody that's been sending in their contributions on Cash App and on Givelify. We picked some stuff up in the mail. Amen. We thank God for you for supporting the ministry here and supporting your church. And we thank our friends that have been supporting this ministry here. We thank God for you, and for you. We're going to have our scripture reading right now on one of our deacons, and then we're going to have a brief word of prayer from one of the ministers that are here. We thank God for this minister, and I'm not just saying that, putting him out there like that, but he was affected by this virus that is going around, but God has. He came in the church house this morning saying, won't he do it, won't he do it? I wish I had a witness in here. Now, if it was you, you'd be excited, but I'm excited when I seen him walk into the house of the Lord, and I'm right there with him. Won't he do it? Somebody other than me know that the Lord can and will do it. Can I get a witness in here? Our deacon's going to come over to this mic and have our scripture reading. Amen?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Our scripture reading this morning is coming from the 98 Psalms from 1 through 5. O sing unto the Lord a new song. for he has done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy arm hath gotten him the victory. The Lord hath made it known his salvation. His righteousness hath he openly shown in the sight of the heathen. He has remembered his mercy and his truth toward the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our God. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord. All the earth, make a loud noise, and rejoice, and sing praise. Sing unto the Lord with the harp and the voice of a song. May the Lord have a blessing to the reading of his words. I have read to you the 98 Psalms from 1 through 5. Amen.
Amen.
Let us pray. Our Father, my God, come right now to say thank you, Father, for waking us up this morning,
Yes, Lord.
for giving us another chance, Father, for keeping us in your care in spite of ourselves, Father. We come now praying for this world, Lord. So many families are broken because of this situation that's going on down here, but we know that you sit high and you look low, and there's nothing too hard for you. We ask that you lift up bowed down heads, heal broken spirits, Father. Remember all those who are affected by this terrible disease, Father.
Yes.
Asking that you remember Pastor Pitts. Give him strength, Father.
Yes, Lord.
Give him a word that we all might hear from heaven. In Jesus' name I pray.
Yes, Lord.
And for his sake, let us all say amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much. Amen. We should have a brief selection. Our soloist is going to come right now and bless us with a selection. Amen.
Because of who you are, I give you glory. Because of who you are, I give you praise. Because of who you are, I will lift my voice and say, Lord, I worship you. Because of who you are, Lord, I worship you. Because of who you are. Because of who you are, I give you glory. Because of whom you are, I give you praise. Because of whom you are, I will lift my voice and say, Lord, I worship you. Because of who you are, Lord, I worship you. Because of who you are, Jehovah Jireh, worship you because of who you are. Lord, I worship you because you are the center.
Thank you, Lord.
Hallelujah. Because of who you are. Our scripture this morning is coming from Matthew chapter 15. Matthew chapter 15. Matthew chapter 15. Follow along as I begin reading at verse 21. It says, Then Jesus went thence and departed into the coasts of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with the devil. But he answered her not a word, and his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she cries after us. But he answered and said, I have not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, It is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to dogs. And she said, Truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. Then Jesus answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto thee even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. Our thought for this morning, our tag and our title for this is Mama's Prayer for Her Crazy Child. Mama's Prayer for Her Crazy Child. He that has an ear to hear, the word says, let him hear what the Spirit has to say to the church. As I reflect back, when I was a little boy singing in the youth choir, when we went to church, I grew up in a traditional church, and as a child, you had to find something to do in the church, amen. You know, children didn't sit around church and do nothing. As a child, you had to find something to do in the church. I decided for a little while that I would sing in the youth choir. We used to love youth choir, and one of the little songs we used to sing came to mind, and that's Somebody Prays for Me. Yeah. I wish y'all that are here ought to say amen. Those out there already said amen. Somebody prayed for me. Y'all know the song. The first verse says, Somebody prayed for me. Had me on their mind, took the time and prayed for me. And I'm so glad they did. I'm so glad they did. I'm so glad they prayed for me. That was a cute part there. But verse 2 says, the preacher prayed for me. And that's good. You want to have a praying preacher, don't you? Can I get a witness? You want a preacher that knows how to pray, know how to go to the Lord in prayer. And that made you feel a little certain way. The preacher prayed for me, had me on his mind, took the time and prayed for me. I'm so glad he did. I'm so glad that he did. I'm so glad that he prayed for me. But when you get to verse 3, I wish I had some witnesses in here. That third verse jumps and says that my mama prayed for me. And I'm telling you, we were standing there in that choir singing, my mama prayed for me, had me on her mind, took the time and prayed for me. I would see my mother sitting from the pews, and that little hand would raise up, and it just did something to you on the inside, just to know in your sanctified mind that your mama was praying for you. Mama's prayer for her crazy child. Here in the text, we have Jesus and his disciples not long leaving a group of Sadducees, Pharisees, and scribes that tried to challenge him on church stuff. You know, folks do that when they think they're super holy and super religious. They'll try to challenge you on church stuff and church traditions. And Jesus told them in the context of the text, before we get to where we took our text, is that in the church, we got a whole lot of folks that are blind trying to lead the blind. Now we see in the text that Jesus and his disciples had come up on this place. The Bible says that they came to Tyre and Sidon. Let me help you right now. How many of you know that the Lord will show up in some unusual places? I'm going to say it again. God will and God can show up in some unusual places, but when he shows up in these unusual places, he has a divine purpose. The text says that he showed up in Tyre and Sidon, which was somewhere about 50 miles outside of Jerusalem, where the Gentiles or non-Jews lived. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This was not your typical place where it wasn't your Bible belt, it wasn't your Bible country, where religious folks, where religious church folks hung out. This was a place where the heathens lived, and the Jews felt like those folks were messed up because they didn't have any religion. I'd love to park here for just a minute, but I won't be able to finish this whole sermon or this whole text. Just because you got religion don't mean you got a real relationship with Jesus. Can I get a witness again? Because some of the mess, most of the mess that we come across as saints, we find right in the church house. We find hell up in the choir. We find hell in the kitchen. We find hell with the deacons trying to get at the preachers and the pastor. We find hell right up in the church. Just because you got religion don't mean that you got a real relationship. Can you get a witness in here? The text suggests that Jesus' ministry, because he ends up in Tyre and Sidon, the text suggests to us that Jesus' ministry was not confined to the church building and the church folks that showed up in the building. Oh, I'm so glad right now. He went where there was a need. He met that need because there was a soul to be saved. He shows up in some strange and unusual places. I'll be honest with you, most of the time, folks would like to believe that they met Jesus. The nice little old traditional church where the choir was singing Zion songs, where the deacons were trying to pray the angels down from heaven. The preacher preached and had a nice little hoop at the end, and they made a conscious decision to accept Jesus as their personal Savior. But the reality is that most of us, a lot of us, met Jesus in some strange places. I wish I had a witness in here. We met Jesus in some unusual places. When we weren't thinking about Jesus, he showed up in some strange places. Let me park here for a minute. We were thinking about partying instead of praying. Can I get a witness in here? We wasn't thinking about singing heavenly gospel songs. We were thinking about sliding to the church house slide. I wish I had a witness in. We weren't thinking about raising holy hands. We were thinking about raising the roof. Y'all remember it, don't you? In your pre-sanctified days, the roof is on fire. We don't need no water. Can I get a witness in here? We wasn't thinking about Jesus. We wasn't thinking about prayer. We wasn't thinking about praying. We were thinking about doing the most and getting the most out of whatever it was we could do. We were thinking about the turn up. Can I get a witness in here? Jesus will show up in some unusual places, and I like that about the Lord, because the truth be told, we didn't go looking for him. He came and got us. Some of us met the Lord in the jailhouse. Some of us met the Lord in the sick house. Some of us met the Lord in the drug house. Some of us met the Lord in the crack house. Some of us met the Lord in the whorehouse. Some of us met the Lord in the gambling house. It does not matter where you met him, as long as you met the Lord and got saved. He'll show up in some unusual and strange places. The text says that he's in Tyre and Sidon. He's not where church folks hang out. He's where a lot of heathens are, where the Gentiles are. Now we see the place. Next we see the prayer. The text says, it suggests to us that this woman needed Jesus to fix her problem. She's not by herself. She's not the only one who needs Jesus to fix our problems. Plural, not singular. Problems, because we got some problems. Do I have a witness in here? Some of us sitting here right now, some of you at home right now know you got some problems that only Jesus can fix. The text suggests that she needed Jesus to fix her problem. So when she met him, and this was got me in the text, when she met Jesus, now you got to remember, she walked up to them because Jesus showed up in this strange and unusual place. But in the text, it said that she knew exactly who Jesus was. Now, in my sanctified mind, it's likely that she had heard about him. It's likely she heard that Jesus was able to open blind eyes. It's likely that she heard that he could open up deaf ears. It's likely she heard that he had healing power in his hand. It's likely that she heard of him, but she has never met him. She does not know what he looks like. So in my mind, wait a minute, you got Jesus and 12 other folks standing there, yet she was able to identify out of the 13 which one was Jesus. Now, she didn't walk up. Text doesn't say she walked up to James or Peter. Text doesn't say she walked up to Thomas or Bartholomew. Text doesn't say she walked up to Judas or Matthew. Text doesn't say that she walked up to any of the other ones, but she walked up to Jesus. And I'm just of the mind that she was able to identify with who Jesus was because she felt something on the inside. I wish I had a witness in here. Don't you know when Jesus shows up full of the Holy Ghost, full of power, the Bible says that even the devil in hell begins to tremble when he showed up. Y'all remember when he showed up, when the man was crazy and living in the graveyard, when he showed up, they said, Jesus, you came to torment us before our time. When Jesus shows up, I just believe that you ought to be able to feel something. Let me help you again. I ought to believe you ought to be able to feel something on the inside. You might not know if he's fat. You might not know if he's skinny, if he's tall, if he's light or dark. But baby, when he show up, you ought to be able to feel something on the inside. The Bible says that you can't even get to the Son except the Father draws you. There's got to be something on the inside that's drawing you to Jesus. She didn't know. She didn't know what it looked like, but she knew that that was the Savior. She knew that that was the one who could help solve her problem. Next thing in this text I looked at, this is what blew my mind. It goes this time and time again. When you read the text says that she cried out. This got me. She cried out. I would love to believe the only thing she said was do something with my crazy child. I'm getting there. That's what you believe. But that's not what the text said. The text said the first thing she said was, have mercy on me. I need some smart folks that are smarter than me, to come on in just a minute. Now, to say have mercy on me, and we know that mercy is asking God to not give us the justice that we ought to get. Asking God to have mercy on me means that there's something I've done wrong. Let me see if I can fix this up. Now, she said, have mercy on me. She was asking for mercy for herself first. Can I jump just dead in the middle of this text and give you what the Lord gave me? Might I suggest that she realized at this point in her life that part of the reason her child was crazy and acting a fool may have something to do with her crazy past parenting skills. Let me help you. Every crazy thing you see your child doing is not because they picked it up somewhere else. Some of the crazy stuff you see your child doing is because they saw their crazy parents doing some crazy stuff. Can I get a witness in here? I know, we think it's cute, but a lot of folks run around saying, you and your daughter, y'all sure look like sisters. Yeah, that's cute. Y'all look like sisters. That's wonderful. But it don't mean y'all supposed to act like sisters. Can I get a witness in here? If you the mama, then be the mama. If that's the daughter, let her be the daughter. But the text suggests to us, I wish I had a witness in here right now. When she said, Lord, have mercy on me, that's something I've done. Can I get some honest folks for just a minute? There are some things that we've done wrong in front of our children that got them acting the way they're acting. Do I have a witness in here? Why you running around trying to figure out why she's smoking? You smoke. Why you wondering why they're drinking? Because you drink. Are you wondering why they're lying? Because you a liar. Why you wondering why they're doing what they're doing? Because they got it from it. I wish I had a witness in here. They got it from their mama or they got it from their daddy. Every crazy thing you see your child doing, sometimes you just got to slap yourself on the head and say, Lord, have mercy on me. I know where that boy got it from. I know where that girl got it from. Can I get a witness in here? They popping pills because they saw you popping pills. They drinking lean because they saw you drinking lean. They got a drug problem because way they act, it's got to do with you.
Amen.
Lord, have mercy. Have mercy. That's me. I'm at the altar right now. Lord, have mercy on me. My child is acting a fool and acting crazy because see me acting. Can I get a witness? See me acting crazy. And then the next thing in the text, she said, have mercy on me. And then she said, my daughter is crazy. This got me too. When I looked at the text, now she's there in front of Jesus, but her child wasn't there. She's praying and at the prayer meeting, but her child wasn't there. And that suggests to us that, a whole lot of parents. Ooh, I wish I had somebody praying with me. A whole lot of parents are in a church house right now. A whole lot of parents are on bended knee right now, and their child is nowhere to be found. They're praying, and the child is doing whatever it is they're going to do. And don't you know that the parent is praying, Lord, Lord, and I know because I got the prayer for my children, Lord, just keep your hand over my child. Ooh, I wish I had a witness there. Keep your blood on my child. Keep your loving arm of protection around my child. If you see my child making a wrong turn, just turn my child around back in the right direction. Lord, my child is not going to make it without you. Lord, I'm praying to you right now. Don't you know somebody's praying for you? Somebody prayed for you just like somebody prayed for me. Ooh, I wish I had a witness. I'm ready to get there now. The text says, she said, I need you to fix my crazy child. You know what? As a child, coming up, grew up in church all my life. Grew up in church and new church, no little Bible. Don't nobody know it all. No little Bible and got no excuse for acting a fool. Got no excuse. But somewhere along the line, a PK kid, and some of y'all know about PK kids. That's the acronym for preacher kid. And y'all know, y'all try to say that preacher kids are the worst kids. They're not the worst. They just the ones that get caught. That's all. They're not the worst. Because don't think the preacher kid is the only one acting a fool. Your kid acting a fool too. Can I get a witness in here? But I can remember one day, I was about 13, 14 years old, and man, I love telling on myself. I fell in love. Man, I was loving it and crushing on this girl so hard. I was so into this girl, man. And man, she was to me, she was the finest thing on Detroit's east side. Man, this girl was drop dead gorgeous. I stand at the bus stop where the cars would stop and move slowly in front of that. And I was just trying. This was my man. This was my buttercup. Can I get a witness in here? The problem with this girl was that we had very different religious views. She was from a total different persuasion than the one I was raised in. And one day she had me come over to her house and she said, well, I want you to meet my daddy, meet my mama. I want you to meet the family. I came in, I met the family, and her daddy, man, he was a stern fella. He said, listen, if you're going to date my daughter, then you got to sit down at the table and you got to study with us and what our religious views and principles are. You got to sit at the table with us twice a week and you got to study. Well, I had a decision to make. She was sitting on one side of the table, I was sitting on the other side of the table. And when I looked at her, she smiled. Oh, I wish I had somebody praying with her. And it was something about that smile. And before you know it, okay, I found myself, them 2 days a week, I'm sitting at the table, I'm studying, and I'm looking at her, and I'm smiling. Can I get a witness in here? And after a while, they started sending me home with all these little brochures, the little pamphlets in there. And I would take the pamphlets home and set them down on the table and spread them out. Not only was I setting the pamphlets on, some of y'all gonna get this in a minute, every now and then they would go out. Now, I ain't called off what religious persuasion it was, but every now and then they go out on Saturdays, knock on doors, folks with half of them. Some of y'all gonna get where I'm going with that. And I'll take my little happy self out there because I was in love and I'd help knock on doors and watch folk half from them at the same time. Can I get a witness in here? But I took those pamphlets home and I spread the pamphlets is out on the table. My mother came down. Mama came and looked at the pampers on the table. She said, boy, what's this crate? What's this stuff you got spread out on my table? I said, what is this? And you know, when you're at that age, man, your chest done got inflated. Yeah, mine's good information. As a matter of fact, you ought to pick it up and read some of it yourself. My mother looked at it and said, boy, you done lost your mind. You done gone crazy. You done lost it. Something wrong with it. I said, no, Mama, this is some good information. Now remember, it's only good information because I'm smiling at the girl on the other side of the table. Can I get a witness in here? I said, good information. You ought to read some of this stuff. There's good stuff in here. They making good sense. She said, boy, you've been raised in church all your life. You know, you don't bring this mess in my house. I said, Mama, you ought to read it. She said, let me get your pastor on the phone. Mama, you get whoever you want on the phone. Mama went and got the phone and she called up my pastor. And she explained to him what was going on. Pastor got on the phone. Pastor said, look, put the boy on the phone. I got on the phone. I'm talking to the pastor, and the pastor said, son, what's going on? I said, Pastor, you ought to read some of this stuff too. Oh, I wish I had a witness in here. He said, son, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go get your Bible. Let's read. So I went and got the Bible, but the one I got was the one they gave me. So when I started reading what he wanted me to read from the Bible, it didn't read like the Bible I was raised with. He said, no, son, I don't need you to get that Bible. That Bible has been altered, and that Bible is different. Go get the Bible you were raised on, the Bible that you came up on. I said, Pastor, I don't want to hear it. You ought to read some of this stuff for yourself. I hung up the phone. I said, I'm done with it. I wish I got a witness in here. But baby, let me fast forward to you. A little while later, I figured out, and I thank God for Jesus, that when I was acting a fool, when I was acting crazy, when I had lost my mind because I thought I was in love, when I just lost it in acting a doggone fool, the Bible says that if you train up a child in the way they should go, when they're older, they won't depart from it. I thank God for the Holy Spirit, because at some point in time, my mind came back to me. Can I get a witness in here? I wasn't knocking on doors anymore. I wasn't sitting at the table looking at her from across the table anymore. I walked back into the house of worship. Can I get a witness in here? She said, my daughter is crazy. My daughter is a problem. She said, lost her mind. And look at this. When she was talking to Jesus, Jesus never even responded to it initially. Text says, Jesus didn't say a word. Here she is with a problem. And I'll be honest with you, she's praying. She's talking to the Lord. She's praying. And because she was not from Jerusalem and she was not one of those religious people, she might not even know how to pray the way we pray. You know, she probably didn't have one alone from the top of the universe, around the sun, down through the moon, down, south, back type prayer. She just said, Lord, have mercy and help fix. I need you to fix my, I need you to fix my baby. But the text said Jesus didn't respond. What do you do when you crying out to the Lord and you don't seem to get a response? What do you do? Do you get mad with God? I know a whole lot of folks get mad with God. Now, God, you ain't real. You didn't answer. Let me help you. Lord, the Lord will speak when he feels like speaking. The Lord will move when he feels like moving. Just because you don't get the response that you want does not make him any less God. God is sovereign. He still sits high. He still looks low. He still got all power in his hand. God is still able to speak to the wind and calm a storm. God is still able to tell a dead man to get up, and he'll get up out of the grave. And just because he don't jump when you don't want him to jump, don't make him any less God. He's still God, and God all by himself. He didn't say a word. The text says he didn't say a word. So because he didn't say anything, his preacher started speaking. I'm going to help us. Don't ever make the mistake of trying to speak for the Lord. Can I get a witness in here? If the Lord is silent, if the Lord is quiet, you get quiet. Ain't no need of you trying to come up with some theoretical solutions to why God is doing what he's doing, or why God's not doing whatever it is he's not doing. Whatever God is doing, just thank God for being God. Can I get a witness in here? Don't try to speak on God's behalf for God. The text said that his preachers started speaking for Jesus. And notice what the disciples said. Look at what they said. She doing too much. Wait, what's too much? I don't get it. What's too much? I'm in the presence of Jesus. I got Jesus right in front of me. I'm praying. I'm talking to the Lord. What's too much? I don't understand that. When you're in the presence of Jesus, what's too much? Am I shouting too loud? Is my hand bothering you? Is my hand clap getting on your nerve? What is too much? When you don't know the hell I've been through from last week to this week, even from last night to this early morning, don't tell me what's too much when it comes to me in my prayer to the Lord. If you don't like it, then baby, just move on out the way, because you won't stop my shout. Can I get a witness in here? I'm going to give God all the glory and all the praise he deserves. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know my story. Don't tell me what too much is. Now she's doing too much. And I like the way Jesus handled it. He still didn't say anything to her. He started speaking to the preachers. He said, look, and this is just me. I just believe this was a teaching moment. Let me translate what Jesus said. He said, I'm here. And he was talking to the preacher. He wasn't talking to her. He was talking to the church. I'm here to straighten out the church folks first. I'm here to straighten out preachers. I'm here to straighten out deacons. I'm here to straighten out choir members and trustees. I'm here to straighten out the church first. He said the lost sheep of Israel, because they are lost. Can I get a witness in here? They did just like a lot of us do. That message was meant for them. But they were looking up like it didn't mean anything. I wish I had somebody praying with me. Just went right now. I'm here to straighten out the church because we got some messy folks in the house of worship. And then when Jesus finally responded to the woman, he looked at her and he said, well, this translation, and it sounded like some real hard language. When he started talking, let me translate it to 2020 vernaculars. He said, you know you ain't in church, right? He said, and your child ain't in church. So technically, she didn't have any claim to Jesus because you didn't go to church. I'm so thankful to the Lord. I'm so thankful to God I'm so thankful to Jesus that he just don't deal with the folks on the pews. I'm so thankful that Jesus will go outside of the four walls. His ministry is on the streets. His ministry is in the houses. His ministry is not just for the folks in the church that know how to say amen. His ministry is to go and get those so they can say amen. Is there anybody other than me know that at some point in time in your life you were lost and on your way to hell? And if it had not been for the Lord who's on our side, we wouldn't have a right to the tree of life right now. Thank you, Jesus. You said, you know you ain't in church, your child ain't in church. Watch this. This is Mama's prayer. Mama's prayer for her crazy child. Watch this. She said, listen, I understand that, but Lord, I need you. I need you to help me. The text says she started worshiping him. The Bible don't say how she worshiped, but it was evident in her response. Watch this. It was evident that she had what it takes to get Jesus' attention. She had a broken spirit and she had a contrite heart. And in her response, she said, I understand I haven't lived my life right. I haven't did everything right. I understand I'm not in the church. I understand my baby don't go to church. She said, but I just want a little bit. Sometimes that's all it takes. I just want a little mercy. I just want a little grace. I just want a little bit. If you can give me the crumbs that fall from the master's table, I'll be all right with a little bit. Jesus, can you just bless me with a little bit of your mercy and grace? And I know everything will be. It's going to be all right. Text said she began to worship. And I like this about this woman, this mama. She held on. The text said she held on until she got a word of encouragement from Jesus. She held on just like Jacob did in the midnight hour. She held on And she said, Jacob said, I'm not going to let you go until you bless me. Can I get a witness in here? She held on because she was praying for her crazy. I'm about to do mom's prayer for her crazy child. I'm reminded of a little story. I love telling this story about this little girl who got lost in this village. She couldn't find her way home. And some of the folks in the village that came over to the young lady, the little girl, and said, listen, they were just trying to help. They said, listen, we see that you're lost. Is there anything you can do, or you can tell us about, your surroundings around your house, or anything about your neighborhood? She said, no, that's nothing I can think of in particular. So then they said, well, maybe you can tell us about your dad and your mom. Maybe there's something about them that we can recognize or, affiliate, and maybe we can help you get home. She said, well, I don't live with my dad, I live with my mom. She said, well, what's your mama's name, and what does your mama look like? She said, well, mama's name is whatever name she got. She said, but you would know my mother if you saw her, because she's the most beautiful woman in the village. So the men that were standing around, hey, the women, they began to look at her and said, the most beautiful woman in the whole village? She said, the whole village. My mother is beautiful. So they began to call on the women that they thought were beautiful in the village. One by one, the women would come out and say, no, that's not my mama. She's more beautiful than that. Another woman come and say, that's not my mama. She's more beautiful than that. And that's not my mama. She's more beautiful. One by one, these women came forth, but she said, no, that's not her. So finally, this one woman walked up, and her face was marred. She had burns on her face and burns on her hands. Her face was a bit disfigured. And she looked up and she said, that's her. That's my mama. And they looked at the woman and they said, baby, are you sure that's your mom? She said, yeah, that's my mama. I told you she's the most beautiful woman in the village. And they began to look at each other in confusion. They were confused. Said, now, baby, you said the most beautiful, but we kind of looking at her. They said, well, my mother is the most beautiful woman in the whole village. They looking, they're scratching their head, they're confused, and they're looking. This woman looks terrible. Her face is marred. Her hands are scarred, and she doesn't look like she's that pretty. She's not a beautiful woman in their mind. So the little girl began to say that when I was a baby, my mother had me in the house, and I was in the crib, and she went outside to draw some water from the well. And when she went out to draw the water from the well, the house caught on fire. My mother turned around and she looked at the smoke coming from the house, and she began to see the flame, and all she could think about was getting to her baby. Yeah. So mama ran from the well and ran in the house and through the smoke and past the flame. Mama picked me up out of my little bassinet, and mama began to carry me through the smoke and through the flames towards the front door. And before mama could get out of the house, the fire caused a beam to fall from the house, and mama took me out of her arms and threw me to safety. The beam came down and it scarred mama's face. It burned mama's head. It scarred mama's hand. But whenever I think about what mama did for me, baby, it's beauty is on this skin deep. My mama is the most beautiful woman in the whole village. Oh, I wish I had a witness right now. Won't he? It sounds like Jesus. Can I get a witness in here? The Bible says he was marred on his head. He was marred on his hands. He had a spear in his side. Can I get a witness in here? The Bible said that he died. I said he died. He died for you and me. Can I get a witness right now? So don't tell me about the scars on his head. Don't talk about the scars on his head. Can I get a witness in here? Oh, y'all thought that was the end of the story? Y'all know I got to go all the way back. It's he died. He died. Yes, he died. But the Bible said that early, I said early, on Sunday morning, he got back up. He had all power in the power of his hand. So if I got to go to anybody about my crazy child, I got to go to Jesus. I said I got to go to Jesus. The same Jesus that fixed me. Can I get a witness in here? He's the same Jesus that's able to fix you. And y'all come on and give God some praise in here. I'm done. I'm done. Thank you. We thank God for your mothers praying for their crazy children. Because God knows my mother prayed for my crazy self. And who would have thought? One day I was sitting at the table and knocking on doors on Saturday mornings. Who would have thought that some years later I'd be standing in the pulpit? Who would have thought? Oh, can I get a witness in here? So I thank God for Mama and her prayers. God bless you. Come on, we're going to have another selection. Come on. Amen. 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 Thank you so much.
Because of who you are, I give you glory. Jesus, you're the center of my joy. All that's good and perfect comes from you. You're the source of my contentment. Oh, for all I do. Jesus, you are the center of my joy. Jesus, you are the center of my joy. I said, Jesus, you are the center of my joy. I said, Jesus, you are the center of my joy. Jesus, you are the center of my joy. Jesus, you're the center of my joy, my joy, my joy, my joy.
Hallelujah. Amen. We thank you so much. Listen, if you've been helped, you've been strengthened and encouraged by this message on today, we ask that you hit like, hit share it along, maybe to help somebody else along the way. Don't forget, we do have Givelify and we have Cash App. If you want to send your contributions in, amen, and thank God for you. Listen, if you're looking for a church home and you have not settled in on a church home, we ask that you consider Green Grove. Here at Green Grove, listen, we are very loving church family. We'd be glad to have you. If you don't know the Lord and free part of your sins, why don't you reach out to us and we will take care of that as well. Everybody needs to have a relationship with the Lord. Amen. Now we ask that God's grace, His mercy, and His peace, that it would rest, rule, and abide with us henceforth, now, and forevermore. And every heart said together, Amen. God bless you. Thank you, Facebook Live, and thank you on the phone line. Those of you on the phone line, hold on 1 second. We'll tune you in and we can have some fellowship. Amen. God bless you and thank you so much.